Welcome to the Shit Apple Podcast, where daily life gets dragged through the mud, wrapped in questionable wisdom, and served piping hot with zero shame. Well, someone's got to say the crazy stuff you're already thinking.
Welcome back to the Shit Apple Podcast. I'm here with my co-hosts, Diana and Shelley, and it is a very exciting podcast day. We have our first guest. She is a psychic liaison. Her name is Elyse Ann, and she bridges to the unseen, lovingly guiding her clients to a happier, more joyful, and empowered life. She has 23 years of experience, people, and she's here to help us navigate life's challenges and uncover the paths that await us. So, without further ado, Elyse Ann, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Absolutely.
I have been doing this 23 years, as you mentioned. My biggest goal in all of this is to help people.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in empowering others to empower themselves. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm here to help, to show you a way, and to guide you. And I'm a little bit different, I think, in the way I do some of my work. I can tell you predictive, I can, do some predictive about the future and so forth. But a lot of my work that I'm pushed into by spirit is to uncover those subconscious limiting beliefs, traumas, past lives that affect us on a subconscious level.
Diana and I are really into past life stuff, so that's really cool.
Very cool.
How did you discover you had a gift? Like, what age, or tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, thank you. I went through a struggle at one point, coming out to your family, so to speak.
Yeah.
And when I got to the point that I said, I can't separate Elyse the person from Elyse the psychic. It's who I am. It's wired into me.
Do you remember about what age?
Oh, yes, I will tell you that. I was just about to say.
Sorry.
Yeah.
1970, I was standing in my backyard, 8 years old, and out of nowhere, I just heard, I did a lot of hearing, we're moving into an elitist country. And I'm standing in my backyard like,
By yourself?
What? Yes. What does that even mean? I'm 8 years old.
You're 8, yeah.
I don't understand this. I know as a kid, things would come out of my mouth that would just shock people.
Yeah, I was curious,
So-
like if you're at the grocery store shopping and someone passes by, are you like, oh, they're going to die? Or, oh, this is going to happen to this person. Like, do you just get random things wherever you are at the
There's
Walmart?
a movie like that. Well, that's freaky.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It's all energy. And in the beginning, when I opened up to really learn who I was allowing that kind of information in my everyday life to come through. Just start to learn, just start to feel it out, just start to understand it. No, I'm just Elyse now.
Yeah.
When I'm not working, I'm not reading people. I'm just Elyse living my life as everybody else.
Yeah.
It would be insane for me to be on like that. People don't understand the frequency of the energy that is flowing through me.
Yes.
Being so connected. I
believe
I
that.
can always be connected, but I'm not going to always be on. It's way too much.
I
want to
would
live a
imagine.
regular life.
Yeah. So you
And-
kind of shut it off. and
In that
kinda-
regard,
Yeah.
yes. Out in public, just passing people. No, I would get no rest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an introvert, so I get that. Like, eventually I have to go in my hole, which is my bedroom, and like shut off from the world and recharge.
Yeah.
So I could imagine you probably get drained from things
It
like
can
this.
be, and it's just like any other profession in a way.
Yeah.
Doctors aren't going to practice medicine 24/7.
Yeah.
I have a question. Going back to your childhood when you were 8 and you had those feelings, did you share that with parents or adults? And what was the response? And then can you just tell us a little bit about how you kind of honed it in, like that journey?
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, to be honest, I do not have memories of it all, but I do have recollection, if that makes sense. I have kind of put together through time, understanding that I know I had said, just things will come out of my mouth out of nowhere. And the reason I know that is I was labeled as a worrywart.
Oh.
I was always worried about something, and I was always too sensitive. I heard that throughout my childhood.
So interesting.
I'm a worrywart.
And I do believe, let's out of fairness almost, I think there was a lot of fear probably around it by other people.
Like your parents specifically?
Maybe,
Did anyone
yeah.
in
Oh,
your
I
family
imagine,
have that
for
gift?
sure.
My mother was very psychic, but very afraid of it.
Okay.
So she never, even as I got deeper and deeper into my work, she was thrilled about it. I tried to kind of coax her into opening up a little bit because she was very psychic, and she just couldn't. And that's okay. I'm never here to force anybody for anything.
Not
I'm not
everybody's
here-
ready for the
It takes a lot.
responsibility of it,
Yes.
maybe.
Yes, and it takes a lot to take that in and know how to deal with it, the information and so forth. So imagine me as a little kid getting this stuff going. I have no idea. I also saw a lot.
Saw what?
Oh, I'd see spirits.
Okay.
I'd see, at night is when a lot of those will come through. It's darker, it's quieter. So they'll start being active in the middle of the night. And I know I would
That's
lay there.
terrifying for a child.
Oh, yeah.
Terrifying.
Oh,
I mean, as an
yes.
adult,
I was
that's
gonna say,
terrifying.
as an adult.
That's why I finally
And
realized.
would you go run and tell your parents, or would you kind of be like,
I think I just hid under my blanket.
Yeah.
to
She
be
might have
honest.
felt a lot of shame because her parents were not open
Yeah,
and she was being called sensitive and a worrywart.
Yeah,
So
that was it. But I just remember I have certain idiosyncrasies because of it. Like I have to have a blanket tucked under my feet. Why? Because I don't want any of those little spirits coming through trying to touch me. Because when you're open, spirits will also and I'm not here to freak anybody out, but they can come and touch you. Don't think about attack. I find, and the reason I say that is this. There are high vibrations and low, there's all kinds of vibrations that exist, okay? And I have known people that are so in fear and so focused on the lower vibrations, that's all they can think about. And talking about law of attraction and what you pull to yourself, you're going to pull all those entities or beings to you, and they're mischievous, and they're going to bother you, and they're going to, all kinds of things.
she's talking to you?
What? What?
I'm joking.
So I said, what? And so I like to not give them any power. So they exist. I know they exist, the lower vibrations. I have tools to handle it.
Yeah.
Very rare I'm faced with anything anymore. Very rare. And but I am once in a while, but I know how to do it. Is it scary? Sure, even for me, well-seasoned psychic that has all the tools, it can be a little scary, but I have confidence that I know I have like Archangel Michael that comes and clears energy. So if I have a problem doing it myself, I call on him and I just know.
I love
It's
that.
done.
That's great.
It's done. So you asked me, what was the other question you asked me? I'm so sorry. I
About,
forgot.
Like,
how'd you hone
it?
in?
Oh,
Yeah.
how did I hone in?
Like when you were young.
Okay.
Well, she said she came
or
out to
older.
her parents like, I have psychic abilities.
Yeah.
I was in
What do
my
y'all think of this?
30s when I really started to dig in.
Yeah.
And it started out with getting my own readings to try to understand what was happening with me, who I am, to put a label to it.
interesting.
I just didn't know. And this person became my mentor. And so I worked that way. And a lot of what I have learned, I've self-trained.
Okay.
I opened up to energy, and boy, did I experience things. I don't suggest it to most people, but that's how, because the work that I do, or any psychic, a true, authentic psychic is doing, is tapping into the energy of it all. So a lot of my training was inviting energies to understand what they feel like, how they interact, and things like that. So through that, I did a lot of self-training. I did some research through my doing sessions for other people. I, kept bringing in more information, and I have just developed, and my connection has become more powerful through
And
doing that work.
you've taught classes, right? Or
yes.
lots of
and
classes.
some healing in Arizona. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Wow. That's really cool because when this first came up, I was actually at an event, and I was in a room full of practitioners, and it was kind of a quiet event. I heard one of the other practitioners talking to another one saying, I teach tarot cards at PVCC. And my head popped up. And I'm like, what? So I said, really? She goes, yeah. I said, wow, that's really cool. She said, reach out to them.
Yeah.
They have adult education.
That is so
in
cool.
ed,
Yeah, it is.
and I
cool.
did. And I did it for 8 years till they closed the department.
We called a bunch of psychics and we kind of got a feel for them. And I don't remember, was she like the second or third person we kind of called? We kind of went back and forth a bit.
I wasn't there. I was
So a
only
lot
there
of
when you
them
called
are
Elyse Ann.
Closed on Tuesdays, which I
And
did.
a lot, yeah, it was a Tuesday. We were having our little creative session. And a lot are closed on Tuesday. I don't know if you know that. And you
I
happen
don't.
to answer your calls on Tuesday, so you're going to get those calls, and they're not.
Okay.
But she called us back pretty quickly, and I just loved your energy
thank you.
and how kind of open you were to like the ideas. And then we forced Shelley to call you back.
No, we called Stephanie and we were like,
Oh, that's right.
Could we get, because we have to do content meetings, right? I mean,
Yeah, we have to
believe it
create
or not, this is
There
actually
there is work
professional.
involved.
There's structure there.
Yes.
There's structure.
So, and Stephanie's the all-knowing tech person. We were like, can we get, a fourth person in here, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, and we told her everything. And then she said, call her back, that being you.
Yeah.
That was the one. Because I wasn't there when they called the first
Oh, yeah.
two.
We
And
called a few.
sometimes we like to say that Tiffany does have like a little extra
I have a
intel.
I have
on
a
just
sixth
good judge
sense,
of
if you
character
will.
and a good. She's like
Yeah.
good at sussing out the troublemakers.
Intuition.
I don't
I'm
say
an
that.
intuitive
Intuition.
slightly.
I think she just hates everyone.
Good
I
intuition.
do.
No, she doesn't hate us. So
That's
good.
true.
She don't hate me because I'm here, so yay!
True. True.
She passed. She
I
passed.
passed.
So we called you. We loved you. We loved your energy.
Thank
but
you.
then you were telling us right before we were recording, like she did her research. And what did you find?
Well, it's kind of funny. As I was.
We want honesty here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm raw
Yeah.
and real,
Yeah.
man. I'm raw.
That's what
and
we like.
real.
None of us are sensitive.
So, I'm in this business, and one of the things I do and expect of myself is professionalism.
Yeah.
So, unless I know a client really well, I tend not to like swear or anything, but I am really like just raw and down to earth. And in my personal life, it's not like I'm
We love
floating
that.
out all the time. And so when I saw what it was called, and I'm like, I wonder how my clients are going to look at this. And then I watched some of your clips on Instagram. While I was laughing my behind off, all I could think was, I wonder how that fits in with my business image. And I'm
True.
like, you know what? I love them. They're my kind of humor. I fit right in. Doesn't matter. This is me. Here we go.
Yay.
So that's what happened. That's
Yeah,
the
because
story.
she was like, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna think about it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's probably
It
when
wasn't
she
just an
Which
immediate.
actually, in hindsight, is probably like really cool. That right, like if someone was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll get on there."
Right.
It might have been more of a red flag where you took your time and you're like, "I'm not an easy yes.
gonna look
I need
into
to
these
think
people.
about it.
Agreed.
I need
Yeah.
to do my own research." I appreciate that.
we're just
Me too.
grateful you did.
Yeah, thank you. I don't even remember saying that to you, as we have memory lapses
Yeah.
here sometimes, but for all of us. But yeah, well, that goes to a lot of my professionalism too, because I didn't know you ladies,
Of course.
and you did like reach out
We
to me.
cold
I don't
called
know.
you.
Yeah,
I don't
and
even
that's
know how they
fine.
got the phone number. They were just on the
Google.
phone with you.
Yelp,
I was like,
Google. Go
Yeah.
check out my Google reviews, honey. All
I did.
5 stars.
We did.
70.
Diana
Yeah, we did.
and
We
Tiffany
did.
showed me everything.
we stalked you.
And so I stalked you ladies too. So it was I was laughing at home going, God, they're just like, I fit right in.
Yes.
But professionally, I'm like, oh, well, my clients will get to know me a little bit more. This
Yeah.
is me.
Yeah.
Actually, the clients that I do show like this part of me, this wild little part, they love it anyhow. So.
Yeah.
That's
And you
great.
might
you.
gain some new wild clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Even
hoping we
crazier
send
than
a lot
us.
of business
That would
your
be
way.
awesome, and pulling in from my list and all. We just
Yeah,
share it
yeah,
all.
yeah.
And no, so I just had to laugh. I actually told a friend of mine about that. I'm like, I don't know, look at the name of it, and I'm like,
I
yeah,
know.
but they're so funny, like so we're so much alike, and so I fit right in. So here we are.
Well, it's funny, our name, even though it's, got a bad word in it, it's literally talking about how we don't like bad people raising bad kids,
Bad
it's
people,
like,
yeah.
So anyway, it's
theory.
good. It comes from a good place.
Yes.
Shall we begin?
Yes.
So-
Again.
No, who's my first one?
I
You
mean,
tell
I
us.
think
You tell us.
Yeah.
Elyse Ann is going to give us a little bit of some reading
Yeah,
here
we're
of
gonna have a
us,
reading.
and
Okay. I think
we're going to follow her lead.
I'm going to start with Tiffany over here.
Oh boy.
I knew it. That's why I said we're going to put you. Are you okay being first?
Absolutely.
I can go with, I'm here for you. I can go with anybody you want. Okay.
That works.
So I'm going to go ahead. I do have cards here. Like I said, I don't always use them. But being that we want some visual here, and also they're going to be fairly quick readings. So we want to get in as quickly as we can, so to speak. So it's just a tool I use to help me. But usually I can just sit down and here comes the information. Okay. So as I explained in the beginning, before we actually started recording, that I like to say a brief prayer.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and breathe. Go ahead and relax. You're starting to stress a little bit. I can feel it in you. Just know that my messages come from a place of love and compassion, and I'm here to help you. All right? All right. I ask that all work here be done in love, light, and blessings, and that you ask your angels, guides, masters, and teachers to communicate with my angels, guides, masters, and teachers, so we may receive the information and messages we are to receive today. All right. So the first thing I heard is, you do sometimes try to have a tough exterior, but the truth is what lies inside is anything but. And I mean that in a positive way. You are intensely loving, and that's why you hold back, because you've gotten hurt. You feel people have overstepped. They've used, dare I say at times, it's a strong word, but abused in certain ways also. So you keep it very close to the heart, but when someone's in and they've got you at 1,000%.
That's true.
There's no wavering on your part. You're very loyal, but you're very particular. Very particular. And there's nothing wrong with that. You've learned through the years, as a kid, most kids are just, happy-go-lucky. But, and you were one of those too, okay? But I feel like, and we're not going to get into like the actual specifics, I feel somewhere in your teenage years, I feel maybe 17. I heard 17, so I'm going to say about 17. I think there was an eye-opening experience for you that really changed how you look at the world and people. And because it's probably personal, I'm not going to bring it up on a podcast, what it is specifically. Do you happen to know what fits in there?
So the only thing I can think of, I was 17 my senior year of high school.
Okay.
I mean, there's not like a specific incident, but my mom got married and she moved to Baltimore, and then I stayed here for my senior year of high school.
Okay. So chances are, just from that, again, I don't want to like dig into it because it's
I'm
probably
good.
personal.
I'm an open book.
But there was probably, maybe just on your subconscious, that's why I'm used to clients sometimes looking at me and going, oh, no. And I'm like, well, just sit with it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm always right. No psychic is 100%, okay? But I think there was a question of almost why or why not me, like to go with her. There was something about, not full abandonment, but there was a piece here. You felt left behind. And that triggered in you some changes and shifts about the way you show up. And that's where it started, it feels like to me.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Okay. So usually Spirit will give me moments in time or an age where something maybe pivotal happened. Okay. So I'm pulling the first card, following your bliss. You're very good at that, actually. You don't let a lot of things get in your way of doing what you want to do. And a lot of people do, so that's a really good thing. You've prioritized yourself in many good ways. You put yourself first. Not a lot of people do that either. You're very determined. When you set your mind to something, girl, there is no stopping you. You don't care what is in your way. You're going to push through. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So being in the flow. Sorry, I got to kind of throw them there to reach. Being in the flow. I'm hearing and sensing you really are a beautiful balance in many ways. I deal with a lot of different people and I see a lot of different things, and I see in you really, you've got a handle on things in many ways. Sure, life is life, but watch out if somebody crosses the line with you. Whoa, people will get upset. But you're not going to tolerate. You're not going to go after them. That was misspoken. No. But you will definitely, I can see you throwing things, like in a kitchen, just throwing things.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And so, if it works for you, it works for you. There's nothing
I don't
wrong
know.
with that.
I don't like that part, but
Well,
There's got to be a better way.
well, I agree, but I'm not going to say, don't do it. It's something that it works for you now because that's what you have established to help you to deal with it. So I just heard from your spirit team, and it may seem kind of lame or like so opposite, but they suggest write it down. Sit down, pen and paper if you want to. Go to a laptop, whatever it is, and start typing it out. Because what happens is you tend to, okay, good. Because when you don't, you're going to get sick. You're going to get nauseous is what I get. You get nauseous from your emotions. I can feel it. And so this is a way to move it out of you.
Oh, yeah. I've slammed doors. I've thrown things.
Let me explain a little something with that. Thank you for sharing that because I always want people to tell me if it makes sense to them or not because I'm here to help you. I'm looking at energy. And so energy presents and energy can represent different things that could be similar. In other words, they may be trying to represent joy to me, but I'm picking up happiness. They're similar, but not quite the same.
Yeah.
So I got the energy of throwing. Now, whether you were literally throwing or it had that type of feel to it,
okay.
I don't know. So that's what I wanted to explain on that. All right. Let me ask you, I feel like you have a question of some sort. Here.
Me?
Yeah. Do you have a question you'd like to ask me? Uh-oh, I stumped her.
I mean,
I didn't
How
mean
many
to-
questions for her?
I mean, as far as like just generally or just what
Anything
we
you might want to know through reading. Or I can keep going.
keep going.
Okay.
I did write questions.
Where's
like
your-
you said,
oh
I
my
write
What are you
things
doing
down.
with your art? This
Like-
has to do with art.
This long.
What am I doing with my art?
Yeah, revealing radiance. It has to do with your heart, with your art,
My art.
your creativeness, your art.
Oh, your
Oh,
Instagram
you're
posts.
doing the social media. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's art, but
I think so.
I think it's very
creativity.
creative.
yes,
Art.
I create all. I mean, I don't want to take any credit because if
Please
it's
do.
terrible,
You
please.
deserve
She
it.
did it. She did it. I didn't do it. If
I
it's
did
bad.
do
If
it.
it's
Yeah,
bad,
and I'm available for hire.
There you
I
go.
do all the social, but
Okay.
I've always been artistic.
I see.
I'm a makeup art. I
Yeah.
was a makeup
Okay.
artist.
Okay, that
fake.
explains. I'm seeing color, and I wasn't sure if it was like a painting, but I see almost broad strokes. It could be makeup. Maybe that's what they were showing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and again, that's where I need a little bit of help
I'm
with
very
the interpretation.
art-driven, for
are
sure.
Are you? What piece of this are you not pursuing though? That seems to be missing. Like I don't know if you're not doing it enough, or you have this side thought over here that maybe you'll do it or pick something up
Something
again.
else up is what
Your
you're saying?
creativity, your art, maybe I don't know if it's actually there's something there
So
with it, whether it's
I don't-
makeup or paint or I don't know, but
I don't think I have anything. But I did have a family friend who is also, I don't know what she would even classify herself as, but she came to me at a party and she said that my next phase in life, something that I do is going to be very successful. And she asked me what I did for a living because I have children. I stay at home with them now, but I was an esthetician, which is like skincare and makeup artistry and stuff. And at the time, the podcast had just kind of begun, so I didn't really even mention the podcast. But she did say whatever I was pursuing was going to be successful. And I kind of touched on the aesthetic side. I didn't really touch on the podcast side. But I don't know what that is. But you're
Okay.
the second person to kind of say
there's
that.
something there, yeah.
But I don't know what it is.
Well, this is the
I couldn't
thing.
tell you.
It does have to do with your art. And I was going to explain, I'm glad you realized that. That's why I picked up on it, because this situation did happen for you, the conversation with this other person and so forth. And I do believe you have the podcast, and yes, that's going to go, ladies. It's going to go. It's going to be a little bit of steady here going on. We got to have some patience, Shelley. I heard it. I heard your name, honey. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes.
You wanna-
she needs
you
That
wanna-
sucks.
What?
That's true.
What did she say?
I said, that sucks.
Well,
I want it
Look,
tomorrow.
That's good. That's a good way to be.
Hey, I'm the same
We're
way, girl.
hungry.
I get it.
She wants it in an hour.
We're hungry.
Nah, she says a minute.
Yeah.
That's true.
True story. That's true. I said yesterday.
So, yeah, there's that piece there that's sitting there. Ever since you heard that too, it's activated.
Yeah.
That's why I picked up on it.
Maybe.
It's sitting in your energy. And
I don't know what it is though. You'd like you to just tell me what it is so I can go do it.
Well, this is the thing,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see if they'll give me any information. The thing I'd like to let people know in general, I do not control the information. I just manage it.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that I can ask, but if there is a reason that I'm not supposed to get the information, we're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Because, and people can get frustrated with that, but what people, I hope, can understand is, yes, this is about getting information, but your journey sometimes is about the experience of the journey. And knowing
Agreed.
ahead of time is not going to benefit that person, so spirit won't tell me. It's not that I'm not good or I don't know, or it has to do with they manage that. They control that. I only manage. I can ask, I can push them, but they have shut their mouths at times.
I
They'll
understand.
shut it
I
off.
understand that 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I
journey-
hear him. It's not esthetician.
It's the journey
It's on
is the whole point.
I think this is what I'm getting for you. I do believe the podcast will probably be your mainstay, but you are going to have an offshoot, whatever that is.
You better not.
Like 25% an
Episode's
offshoot.
over.
Okay,
You're
sorry,
dead.
Shelley, but I'm going to tell you the honest. Can I?
Yes,
like,
please.
I'm not going to censor, but I also want to make sure I have
Please.
permission.
Please
ma'am.
do not censor.
Okay, Tiffany, I'm going to talk as if you're not here, but I'm going to explain it to Shelley.
Okay. I like
If
it.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Tiffany has a need to be her own person. And as much as she loves all this and feels, and correct me if I'm incorrect, feels very much a part of this, there's an individualism streak in you that cannot be muted.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense, and I don't like it.
Well, nobody said you're going to like
And
it.
I want to say on the
honey. I'm just
record,
speaking
I
the
don't like
truth.
it. That's so funny.
So
Do you feel that?
I do because
Well,
I
she needs her
I
alone.
think
She says
it's
it all the time.
because I've never been able to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I've been
always
a
so-
parent
yeah.
since I was 19.
wow,
Stephanie
okay.
can kind of understand this as
Yeah.
well. But it's like I've never had that time to discover or find out what it is that I'm passionate about or what I really want to do. Is always
Or just focus on you and not care for others?
yeah.
I think what I'm being told is this may take, and have patience. There's divine timing. Everything is
I'm very
absolutely
patient.
divine timing. Okay, but oh, that's right. We picked on Shelley on that one, didn't we? They said it. I'm just telling you what I heard.
We got beef.
I feel like it's probably going to start. I kind of want to say it this way. Beating the drum in about a yearish and a half, maybe. Remember, they don't live
that on
in
your
linear
real calendar.
time, so energy
that
is
on your
constantly
calendar.
shifting. But I feel like you're not quite there yet. That's why I don't believe it has been revealed.
Yeah, it
You're
hasn't.
not quite there yet.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a little bit more of the path to walk, just because
So curious.
you're curious. Did
I'm
you-
so curious
well, you're
because
gonna
I have no idea what it is.
you're gonna find
like
your
not
way.
an inkling.
You're gonna find your way, but it has to do with either creativity or artistic.
I believe that. I like
see what comes out with it.
I feel like you're going to
that.
do
What
our
are you
makeup.
thinking?
No, I'm going to share after.
Why?
All right.
No, not fair.
Yes, it's
Okay,
not relevant.
I'm-
It's not relevant.
Oh, okay.
It's not? Okay. I think it's going to be, you're going to do our makeup when we go on tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
I was thinking you're going to have like your own makeup line. Like you're going to start, you're going to come up with
You
a
think?
product or something that you discover during this year and a half working with my bags or something. And you're going to be like, oh,
With my
Love
bags.
yourself, please.
I do, but I'm just saying, like, that's kind of when you were saying that, that's what I was imagining. Like,
Okay.
she's going to come up with a product or something
That would be
that's
cool.
going to be
Interesting.
your own thing
in your
that
50s.
Shelley and I can't put our name on because you came up with it.
Whatever.
And it's not pod related.
Whatever. Listen to show. Whatever.
I love her.
Sweet Shelley and Tiffany.
I'm defriending you.
Nope, she's not allowed.
How old are you? Do you mind me
I'm
asking?
42.
Okay. So she's saying a successful makeup line. I'm hearing 53. Now, mind you, for me, most times when I get an age, it's an age that everything is locked in, like you're going.
Okay.
Not when it's going to start, not when it's when it's like locked in, it's blazing, we're good, you're set.
Okay.
Okay. So of course, a business like that isn't going to be set up overnight, right? And the one thing they're saying about this journey for you when it comes to building a business, again, and I know you say you're patient, just be aware and let this sit back in the back of your mind so that it can float up when you're ready to do all this. When things aren't going to, there are going to be times we know that things may not go the way you want.
Yeah.
They would like you to try your best to stop and pause and breathe and almost take talk yourself off the ledge. Do it for a minute. Just breathe. Okay? It's going to help you throughout the process. Because when we get upset, our energy spikes and it flushes out a lot of our energy and we're exhausted and things like that. You want to preserve because you're a very passionate woman and your emotions you show your emotions passionately too when they come out. Okay? So they just want to remind you when you're in the middle of it, you don't like something somebody said, or you feel like somebody's screwing up something.
I
down the
pause
road.
when agitated.
Okay.
I'm very good at that.
Very important. So great, good. Then they are validating for you that is a great practice to move forward with also.
Okay.
All right, I got the time for you, girlfriend. We gotta move on.
Nice. I loved it. Thank
Okay,
you.
You're welcome. All right, Shelley,
Here we go.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Little defiant one over there.
Yeah,
over
let's
there
do
ready
it.
to argue.
Can you quickly tell me the difference between the two sets of
Oh,
cards?
yeah.
They're actually just different decks by different artists.
Okay.
And I work with I don't
camera's
I'm like,
right there.
where's the camera? Sorry. First time on a podcast. Truth be told. The thing is, I've been asked many times, do you read tarot, however you want to pronounce it? And I can, but this is the thing. I always work with, for me, not that tarot is dark or negative, but I work with the angelic realm, the ascended master realm.
Oh, that's the
and that's
difference.
what these cards
Okay.
pretty much
Okay.
Oh,
represent.
yeah, because it wasn't like the lady or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
carriage.
And part of the reason why, way back when, in the way beginning of me starting my professional career, I had a very close friend, another psychic. And she would look at me and constantly say to me, you should learn tarot. You need to learn tarot. You should be using tarot. You need to learn tarot. Finally, I acquiesced. And I'm like, all right. Okay, because I, as you can tell, I just sit, open up, and here it comes. Now, the cards help me along sometimes and things like this, but I don't need the tools. It's direct communication for me with them. And I decided, okay, she's telling me to. She's been a psychic for years, professionally. I'll go do this.
Not your thing.
Oh, my goodness. I was so busy being in my head, trying to remember what the book says the cards mean, that my psychic
you're missing-
connection was just like static all the way because I wasn't connected that way as much as I was in my brain. And everything that happens here in any session I ever have has nothing to do with my mind or my brain. The only time that'll come into play is when I have to sit and interpret. Otherwise, I am just communicating with them directly.
Yeah.
Straight through.
I like it.
And I can use a tarot deck, but I'll look at somebody and say, well, I maybe know a meaning of one or two cards.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these are just launching off points for me, and I just take them as a psychic start, and then I take off. So if I'm saying something different than what the card usually represents, that's because I don't read tarot.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's a difference between being a reader and a psychic.
Yeah.
You aware of that?
No.
Yeah, big difference. And the difference is this, and it doesn't mean one is better than the other, but a reader, usually the definition of that is they need an outside tool. Like cards, like a
Right.
pendulum, like runes, like whatever.
That's a good point.
A psychic
Yeah.
is, I don't need the tools. I don't have to have the tools. I'm directly psychically connected with them with an information stream highway. So that's the difference. That, and again, it doesn't mean I'm better, they're better. It doesn't mean any of that. There is
It's
just
your
a distinct,
method. It's your-
Yes, it's a distinct difference.
Got it.
And I do know people that can't read without using tools.
Okay.
It's the only way they can do it, which is fine. It doesn't mean they're not good, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, all right, now we're going to go. Shelley's all grimacing over there.
I'm excited to hear these guys.
Me too.
Yay, let's go.
Okay, Shelley, do you have a decision on one card, one deck versus the other, honey?
My eyes are beautiful green, so let's stick with the ones that
The
are
green?
closer to green.
Close
sure
to
are.
green. She's discriminating against you, blue deck.
Sorry, Blue.
Those Ascended Masters just won't talk to you
Oh,
anymore.
they just-
There are times I'll get angry with my spirit team. My mother used to get so upset. Oh, you can't do that. You can't get mad at them. I'm like, yeah, I can, Mom. It's okay.
Yeah.
I have a relationship. We all
Yeah.
have relationships with our spirit team, and every single one of you are psychic in your own way.
Oh, I believe that
Every
100%.
human being is. You use the word intuition. To me, intuition is just underdeveloped psychic ability, and we all have intuition.
People ignore it. They
Yeah.
push it down.
Yeah, I used to
They-
because I was scared of it. Like it made me nervous to think about it. Like that
Yes,
there
a lot
was-
of people are afraid of what I. Some people, I'm sure, are afraid of me, even though I'm just a normal person. Oh, I've had people like.
Oh, I could see
You
that
know,
for sure.
They think I'm reading them. They don't want to
Yeah.
know. You know, I know I'm just a normal person having a normal life.
Yeah.
You know, but all right, Shelley, we're gonna hit up Shelley
Delve in.
now.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, Shelley, go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Relax. You tend to like to manage your life very closely.
Oh,
I hear the
she's
word
got
control.
your number.
I am a control freak, but not what you'd think.
That's true.
You want to tell me what you mean by that?
I like to control like people and situations. You know what I mean? Like I don't like.
How's that working for you?
I mean, so far so good.
Great, actually.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just
Say more about what do you mean?
like you know, like okay, like there might be a situation and they're like, we can't do it. I'm like, the fuck, we're not doing it. You know,
gotcha.
I mean,
It's our
I'm
whole
just
different
I'm
story,
very
but yeah.
controlling in what I do. But like,
I
let's
don't
say
like that
in a
word.
loving way.
I don't
Yeah, I
like
feel
that
like there's
word.
a
It's not
negative
controlling.
connotation.
She's very good at like
She can
like
move
manage
mountains
people.
when
She
she
can move.
wants.
mountains.
Thank
she
you.
wants.
You're taking the words out of
Yeah,
my
that's
mouth,
good.
Tiffany. I was waiting for
different.
Shelley to finish.
She says
Yeah.
controlling.
Well, I was
Just
gonna
like-
say, like, my house is a mess. My car is a super duper mess. You know what I mean? I'm not, and then you know, I'm not controlling about like, oh, I must look perfect or when, you know what I mean? I'm like, I want this situation to be the best it can be. Maybe
That is her gift, though.
I
moving
think
mountains.
motivated is maybe a better word for you.
I am a good motivator. I can give a speech like, no, I am the Vince Lombardi of our time, baby. I just have nobody to give it to.
I like it.
All right. So I know I didn't do the prayer with you, but they're getting right into it. So do you want me to stop and do
Yeah.
the prayer? Or are you okay?
I don't know.
Let's get into
whatever
it.
you think.
Do the
Let's
prayer.
go.
No, do the
Okay.
prayer.
Okay.
Do the prayer, yes.
Sometimes they'll jump right in, and then I lost track a little bit. Oh, listen. All right. I ask that all work here be done in love, light, and blessings, and that you ask your angels, guides, masters, and teachers, communicate with my angels, guides, masters, and teachers, so we may receive the information and messages we are to receive today. Okay, the one thing about me, and your team seems to be being quite blunt, which matches your personality in some ways. And it's not a negative thing, it just is. You control and management. Okay, and thank you, ladies, for jumping in, because I sort of agree there with the fact that controlling is not the greatest word, okay? And that I think you have a combination of it. Now, usually when I hear somebody that you know wants to control a situation, by the way, I look away a lot. It helps me to connect with them more. So I'm not trying to be rude by
that's
not
fine.
making eye contact with anybody, but it helps me to focus on them. The reason why they're talking about the control, though, is because they are asking, and it's up to you, of course, always free will, free choice, and discern for yourself. If in those moments in time when you're feeling like that, you know, oh, this has got to get done, tune into your body, tune into yourself, see how you're feeling. I think you're going to be a little surprised. Okay. I think how do I explain it? I think you're having, okay, that's a good way of putting it. I talk to my spirit team. I acknowledge them. All right. So it's about being aware of what that adrenaline is doing to your body, because it's not always great. Okay. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not saying anything like that. But we're trying to get you to where we're going to avoid some of that. We're going to pull back and not have your body go through, I mean, for fairness, trauma. Because when we get riled up, it's trauma.
It
to
is.
the
I get
body.
riled up a lot.
It is.
I feel it and I see it. And look, some of that is, I think you would.
And by the way, the older I get, the more I suppress it.
Okay.
So I'm keeping it inside.
That's not good either.
Yeah, and I
that's
can
not
literally
healthy.
sometimes feel my heart
Yes,
beating, and I'm like,
not healthy.
I gotta like,
What's the
I don't know.
solution for that?
Yeah,
It might be the sixth Dr.
Xanax?
Diet
No,
Coke,
maybe
Dr. Pepper, too.
I don't know. Yoga?
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, yoga's a good idea. I'm going to suggest was going to say writing it out, but you don't want to do that.
I'm not
You-
a
I
writer.
know. They told me. They're like, nope, she doesn't want to write. I'm like, okay, what do you have next?
I'm not a writer or a reader.
I know. That's why I
Dumbass.
usually, like I told Tiffany, write it out. But as soon as that kind of started to come in,
Yeah.
they said, nope, she's not a writer. And I said, okay. So this is why they were giving me two things at once. They're saying stand in a room and just yell it out.
Yeah, it's like
Just
that's what
stand
I
in a
have to
room
do.
and
I
yell
have
it
to go
out.
somewhere else.
You have to
and-
worry about yelling though. You spike your cortisone levels, and that takes
I
like
have very
48
high
hours.
cortisone.
That
Okay.
takes like 48 hours to flush out your
Cortisol.
system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cortisol, sorry. Cortisone shot.
I'm so itchy.
And that's great advice. And I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. But we also want to find a way for you to get
remove
it out.
it,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like there's two things. Which
She
do
does
we
wanna
kinda
go
try to
boxing
alleviate
again.
First?
I do want to start boxing.
Then do that. That's going to be a great way because
Been
Like a
many
form
years.
of aggressive
is
exercise.
everything fair game?
What do you
Yes,
mean?
yes.
I don't know. What
Yes.
does that
Like
mean?
physically?
Can I
Yes.
say something?
Yes.
Yeah, say it.
I think that there's some repressed anger issues that are going on
Oh,
for you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it and feel it, and I think that you
Like
feel
me
like
and
you,
Shelley and Dan are always looking for a fight. We're
Well-
ready.
What do you know where it comes from with Shelley?
Hold on, I'm sorry. I was starting to get something. Then okay, give me a second. I just got
We
to
need to
kind of
be
bring the
quiet.
energy
Let
back.
her
No.
read.
I love the back and forth, but every once in a while, I'm in the middle of getting something from them, and then I lose it. So no, please have your conversations. I love it, but it's interesting. This makes a lot of sense. Shelley, you're very vocal, and you need to be because that's who you are. But that's because you feel in your past that you have had to fight to be seen, heard, struggled to be heard, struggled to be validated, kind of all falls into that place. You have a feeling that even though you're talking as loud as you can, people aren't hearing you. Does that make sense? Oh, wow. Your team is quite firm with you. That's the way it works for you. And that's what happens. You can see the difference in some ways in how I'm talking or how they're communicating to me in your session versus yours. It's different. They cater to the client I'm reading for every time. They do use a lot of humor with me because I laugh a lot. And so, they do a lot of humor with me. But yeah, your team's coming through firm because you are a solid woman. And sometimes they have to kind of like take the jackhammer to get through to you.
Yeah.
But that's the shell that you've put up to protect yourself. Nobody's saying this is bad. Nobody's saying you shouldn't. But
Right.
there are healthier ways to maybe develop ways to develop to handle it.
Right. Okay.
Does it make sense to
Yeah,
you?
it does.
You have a project coming up. There is something, I don't know, it feels like, I don't think this is necessary. It could be. It almost had the feel of like a home renovation. I'm not convinced it's about your home, but is it?
We're thinking of doing a little bit more with our home. We're also
Okay.
waiting for the market to crash so I can just move.
Yeah, can you tell us that date and time, please?
It's interesting because I don't necessarily hone in. I have my own
Theory.
feelings, impressions from spirit. I is the market going to crash? I actually, to be honest, I'm not saying this as a prediction. Okay, I tend to I can predict, but I kind of stay away from it some because it's a kind of a political hot potato.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
not
and I'm
political
not
here.
here for that. I have my own feelings and thoughts and beliefs and political leanings, but so does everybody else. So I don't get into that in business. But what I can tell you as an overall, what I believe is there's that word. I heard it the other day. I was talking to somebody and they said it to me. I think obviously we're all being asked to reset. There is a huge reset happening. It's traumatic. It's chaotic. It's disruptive. It's abrupt. But
It's needed.
this is the thing. We have gotten so far away from each other as human beings. Society cannot survive without being civilized. We need civilized society for all of us to survive. This is resetting that. If you've noticed what has happened, people are coming together more and more to band together, to stand up for whatever they believe in. That's creating community. That's creating connection. The internet's the other thing that took away a lot of our human connection. So, I mean, is it scary for some of us? Absolutely. I have my own journey too. But what I do is instead of just looking at what's right in front of me, I try to get around it some and say, what's on the other side of this? And I do believe overall, I don't know what the journey is going to totally look like because it is shifting all the time. I do believe it's really going to come out in a much better way at the end of whatever it is we're going through. People are starting to reach out for other people. It's kind of a dichotomy because you see a lot of people have pulled back, right?
Yeah.
Stay in their own little world. But again, if you notice what's happening, at least I'll talk about our country, people are coming out more and more to be together in groups. And that is the beauty of rebuilding a community. And that's what's been lost. And that's just my psychic and
I like it.
comment.
Okay.
Cool.
So I know this was your time for reading. Okay, you're just...
You're
that was
over.
great.
Your time's up.
That was not set up.
that was hilarious.
It was not set up. It was just like, okay, that's your reading, and then the timer went off. I hadn't even looked at it.
The spirits were done with you.
Let's go ahead. You want to go a few more minutes?
Deviate slightly.
Yeah. Well, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Before I even got here, I'm like, oh, yeah, all right. I even said it to a friend. Like, yeah, I'm going to do readings, but I know there's going to be a lot of back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, Shelley. You know what? I get the feeling you want to ask a question here. There's something that's kind of been nagging a little bit at you, poking you.
I feel so. I guess the only thing I would think of is like my husband. My husband works very hard and works 7 days a week, and he's an attorney, and it's just a weird thing. I guess I just want him to, and it's hard to walk away from. It's not just like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's like an ongoing process. Like he has these clients for years, and I just want him to walk away. I want him to do something else, but he's like, I feel like I've been doing this for so long. How am I going to be this successful somewhere else? There's these newer, younger guys that I've been replaced by all these years, right?
So you're curious for his future?
I'm curious almost
what it's gonna look like?
mostly for him.
Do you mind giving me his first name?
William.
William. Is that what he goes by?
He goes, he'll go by anything. We call him Bill.
We call
Okay,
him Bill.
Okay, good. Because the energy, I wanted to.
A lot of people do call him William, and his clients call him Mark, but that's neither here nor there.
What?
Because of
story.
Markov.
Oh, there's a whole
Markov. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's my
So,
last name.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me collect that back. Okay, first thing I heard was, you know the man you married.
Yeah.
He's very motivated. He's very motivated. He has been, at least in
has
the
been,
past,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And sometimes I do see things and I can't tell, is it past, present, future? They sometimes blend. But he was very, okay, so we'll use the word was very motivated.
Well,
You know,
he is
he-
now.
I mean,
Oh,
now.
he is. So I was
he's
getting
very
it right.
motivated.
You were. You
Oh,
are.
it was he's always been. I
Right,
see.
yeah, he
Oh,
hasn't
that's
always
what
been.
you're, okay. Well, he's presenting as that, so it must fulfill him completely at this point.
Right.
Because I saw it as like, this is the way he's always been. So that just means that is absolutely been assimilated and absorbed into his body. And so he's not going to do anything less than his best. And what's going to keep him from moving forward or changing is because he knows how to do this. He knows he's good at it. He's successful at it. He knows how to do it. And not that your husband isn't very capable. Your husband is actually genius.
He's pretty smart.
Pardon?
He's pretty smart.
Yeah, I heard the word genius. So he has that high, very level.
He is.
Okay.
He is.
You know, look at her. She's like, I'm not going to admit that. You
No
think
way.
I'm going to let my husband out
Luckily,
that
he
way?
doesn't listen to this podcast.
He is. I'm telling him next time I see him. I'm telling him next time I see him.
He's pretty smart. He's got like a.
Psychic called
it's
you
almost-
genius,
it's
Bill.
Not, he's smart,
He
but I
is a
think he's got a
genius.
photographic memory.
He
type
is a
of thing.
genius.
He's a genius.
He
I
should
got
be,
genius.
He
I
should
heard
be a
the
lot
word.
richer than he is.
Okay. Well, we got to look at the satisfaction alike
Right.
too in some ways. So, William, right? I want to go back because I heard four names
William,
for the same
Bill.
guy.
Yeah.
It helps me with the energy. So, 6 years, he said. Give me 6 years.
Jesus.
How old will he be?
We'll be on Social Security by then. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say
Don't
he's
look at
40.
me. I don't know.
something. He's
He's
47.
Almost 47.
Almost 47.
So 6 years. It's like he has I don't think he's necessarily going to label it that way, but that's the way I'm going to describe it as the energy's presenting. It's almost like a 6-year plan. He has a plan. He has a vision of retiring.
Yeah.
And, it's almost as if, I don't know if he's conscious of this, but it's almost as if he's thinking to himself, well, I'm so close to retirement, and I know there are things we want to do and we want to have some freedom. So maybe now's not the time to step into something new.
Yeah. No, that sounds like him.
So that's what I'm hearing.
What do you want him to do?
I don't know.
Like, he's very good at what he does. He's successful.
I think she wants him not to feel like the stress and the
Is it the stress that
constant
worries
need
you?
to-
Stress. It's he's
time
never
away from
home.
family.
Isn't that
He's
interesting?
losing time with his children.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I deal with the same things with my husband,
Yeah, well, ladies, to be honest, and this is just me coming out as Elyse saying this, there usually is some sort of trade-off. When
Yeah.
when a husband or a wife are very successful, it's a lot of time at the office. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to get both. It's. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel like you want it, but if we look at the reality of it, it's kind of tough to find that balance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not making
Totally.
an excuse. I'm
No,
just,
I hear you.
So it's very interesting though, because when they asked you, what do you want him to do? There was make a difference, simplifying your life and starting fresh. So there's the answer. That's what you want him to do, but you don't know specifically
Right.
what you want him to do.
Yeah.
Okay? So the cards came out with the answer.
Okay.
Isn't that cool? The spirit loves to do that.
We should simplify our lives. It's very thing. I do have one other question.
Yeah. She's putting up her hand.
Will my daughter's cheer team win Summit this year? Do you feel it
This year?
this new season?
Oh.
She said
This is what I'm going to say. 2 things.
no. Uh-oh. NCA?
When you were formulating the question before it came out of your mouth, was it exactly the same as you asked it, or was it a little different? Because what happens with me with questions like that, as the person says the first word, I'll get an answer, but I do know that what a person says versus what they had in their head can be different. And that's why I'm careful, because spirit will answer exactly specifically what is being asked. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm feeling right now. I feel like a second place.
Okay, I'll take it.
But you know what? This is another reason why I do the work I do.
Yeah.
Okay? Because what I could say to you is, in any type of situation like this, hey, you know what? Energy is energy. It's constantly shifting, and we can affect it.
Yeah.
So start working on it. Start talking to her spirit team.
Yeah.
And ask for, however you want to put it, ask them for the precision and the practice and the whatever words you want to use for the whole team to come together and do a perfect routine. I
Right.
mean, you can just put it out there, but let it go. See, part of what you do with your control is you put it out there, but you hold the string.
100%. Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to be that. Oh, believe me, you're looking at a reformed control freak. I kid you not. Remember, I'm the worrier. I was
worrier.
always told that, and so I had to control everything in my world for other reasons too. That does get in the way of things manifesting that you desire when we try to hold control. And believe me, I know. I've learned to let go, because that's when they can work their
That's
magic.
what you're working on.
I don't
Let it
let go
go.
of anything. I do have a question, not about me.
No, that's okay. Yes, excuse me a minute.
No
apologize.
worries. I know I have allergies, too.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
You talk about our spirit team. Now, is that like our angels that have passed on?
Okay, so thank you for asking that. I use the term spirit team because I believe there's multiple entities members, okay? I always include God, source, and Christ consciousness in that. Now, if you're of a different religion, don't believe in Christ, that's fine. This is from a spiritual, completely spiritual, which is different than religious, okay?
Yeah.
Talking a lot of the same type of language, speaking with a lot of the same language we do, but I just want people to know that mine is in spirituality, not religion. Whatever anybody wants to believe,
Right.
that's for them. That's good. So I look at them as having like the honorary members of your team. Okay, God, source, creator, I am, and Christ consciousness. Then you've got your angels. Then you've got your archangels. Now, to me, I believe that angels and archangels are celestial beings. That means they've never lived a human life on Earth.
Oh.
Okay? So when people say, oh, is my grandmother my guardian angel? I know that's something that is said in this society. That's the terminology we use. However, now, again, this is coming from my own belief system, my own experiences through all of this, okay? Sure. I share it, and people can do with it if it resonates, great. If not, that's okay too. I'm not here to, say I'm it, and that's all I say is right, So our grandmother is not a true definition of an angel.
Okay.
Because to me, they're celestial beings. But grandma lived on Earth.
Yeah.
But they can come in and have some of the same characteristics or with the same type of help that your angels can come in with. But to be honest, angels are much more powerful.
Right.
Doesn't mean that
So
grandma
we don't-
isn't powerful.
We don't know our angels really.
Well, you can sit and you can ask them their names and you can feel into their energy.
But they're not a human being.
Yeah,
You've never met them.
I
get it.
don't, from my perspective, I don't believe that they were ever lived a human
Interesting.
life. Okay, then you have your masters and your spirit guides. Okay, your masters, teachers. Those are usually ancient wisdom that comes in and help guide you. Spirit guides are on your team also. Now, they are with you. They can come and go. They can shift out depending on what you're going through in life. Some will be more prominent in your world for a while versus others, just depending. And so spirit guides, actually, we switch out lifetimes. Spirit guides are spirits that have had human lives. And what we'll do is we'll go back into being a spirit guide, like you have spirit guides that lived human lives, but now they're on the other side, however you want to describe that dimension, helping you now. And then in some lifetimes, you're going to be the spirit guide helping others. And so I include them all because they're all powerful. Again, they're the higher vibrations. That's why that's the only ones I include on that. That's who I connect with. Every day I do my work to connect with only the highest vibrations. And so, for me, people will sometimes say, well, who's telling you that? And I have to be honest, some psychics are really big about knowing exactly who they're talking to. For me, the way I work, I can ask, and there are times I'll get answers. But because I do my setup every morning, I know I am connecting with the highest vibrations. There's no shenanigans. There's no, none of that. Nobody's slipping in. So I know I just take it as an aggregate. Because at the same time also, I'll hear multiple of them at the same time. Like they'll all kind of chime in or something. So I'm just saying that's the way I work. But I can find out names or find out who they are. Just for me, I just look at it as the aggregate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, kids. So we're going to kind of end this session, and then we're going to have a part 2, right? To be continued.
Yeah.
And we'll read Diana,
Diana.
next. So tune in for the next episode. Okay, everyone. We're really excited because we have a contest for all of our listeners.
Whoop, whoop.
For our first guest. You get to win is it a 30-minute session, a free 30-minute session. And all we need you to do is to follow the Shit Apple podcast. We're going to have this contest on Tuesday when this episode airs. And there will be a comment section where you just then also tag a friend.
Tag a friend.
Right?
A friend.
Follow Shit Apple. Tag a friend.
To win a 30-minute session.
To win a
Elyse
session
Ann.
with Elyse Ann.
And very cool, guys. It's just fun. So do it.
It is fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Creepy.